Hey everyone, today I want to talk about how to efficiently build your characters, mainly your DPS characters, but some of the steps here will apply to your support and sustainer as well. So first off, I do want to note that you do need to be at least Trailblaze level 60 to follow some of the steps here, and 65 to follow the steps that involve relics, because let's be real here, farming in the cabin level 5 is not nearly as efficient as farming in level 6. But yeah, so first off, the first thing that you should do is get your character to at least level 70 of 80 to unlock the last major trace, which usually is pretty good. And then if you want, you can go to level 80 of 80. That is really expensive, but you can if you want to unlock the other traces that does damage. These are all really nice. And yeah, just go for the one that does damage and leave things like HP unless you're planning on maxing them, but you can come back to that later. So as for the traces, the ability traces, just get everything to low 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10. And if they use basic attack, get it to about 5 out of 6. And then after you do that, you go farm relics until you get about 280 CVs worth of stats, not including Eidolons, Talons, Light Cone, or whatever. Hey, sorry about that. In the video, I forgot to mention what CV mean. I'm sure some of you know, but it means crit value, which is calculated by multiplying the character's crit rate by 2 and adding it to the crit damage. Here, you can multiply the crit rate by 2, which would be 120. So 120 plus 177 is 297 CVs. And yeah, that's how you calculate it. Oh, she's spinning. So this would be about 70% crit rate and 140% crit damage. Sorry, Danhang is talking right now. Yeah, let me remove this. So about 70% crit rate and 140% crit damage, not including the Light Cone. For example, a character like Jing Liu would have about 40% crit rate and 200% crit damage. And if you are under Trailblaze level 65, just worry about getting the correct main stats for your character. Make sure they have a crit, speed or attack, the orb, and the rope. Make sure it's good. And yeah, after that you can just max out all the traces. I know it's a bit expensive here, but it's guaranteed damage, and that's a lot better than gambling for the right substats. You can start farming for the right substats at Trailblaze level 65 when you unlock the last Cavern of Corrosion. Also, if you're planning to keep farming for better relics after getting 280 CVs, I would suggest aiming for at most 310 CVs without the Light Cone, just because of how marginal the stat increases after you get to that point. Also, this is a side note, but I would suggest getting at least 70% crit rate for all your crit DPS, just because not critting feels hella bad. My Herda here is about 75% crit rate because of her E2, which gives an extra 15%. And this is especially important when it comes to character like Dr. Ratio or Sela that has really few hits in the combo, so having a higher crit rate for them will make them feel a lot better to play. I would aim for about like 80% crit rate for a character like Sela and Dr. Ratio. As for DOT characters, you just want to have as much speed and attack and effect hit rate as you can. This all just depends on what they really want. For a character like Kafka, you just want a lot of speed and a lot of attack and a bit of effect hit rate so you can hit your stuff. For a character like Black Swan, her requirement is 120 effect hit rate and as much attack and speed as you can give her. And yeah, this basically goes for most character. Like if you're building like Break Effect Luca, just give him as much Break Effect as you can. That's pretty much all for DOT units. As for your supports, just give them as much speed, defense, HP, attack, crit damage, break effect as much as you can. Like, unless you're going for like some speed tuning thing with like slow run Mei, slow Kafka, slow Sparkle, whatever. But yeah, it's pretty standard most of the time. For sustain, it's also really similar, just as much speed, attack, or HP depending on what they scale off of. Some survivability, effect res if you don't want him to get CC. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, bye.